Step through the double doors of any modern ICU or emergency department, and you are immediately hit by the relentless pace of the floor. This is where clinical experts, physicians, nurses, and advanced practice providers operate every single day, making life or death decisions in a highly pressurized environment. Highly skilled clinicians often hit a wall when they are promoted into administrative or director roles. They enter a leadership vacuum where a decade of mastering clinical pathology or patient care fails to translate into the skills needed to manage budgets, resolve staff disputes, or navigate hospital politics. The Culture Coalition is an initiative designed to fill this specific gap. By analyzing management and behavioral research, they translate broad executive concepts into practical tools that empower medical professionals to lead effectively. Surviving the hospital floor as a clinician relies on medical protocols and physical stamina, but leading that same floor requires an entirely different psychological toolset. Newly promoted medical directors often struggle with the belief that leadership requires a specific, magnetic personality, the kind of loud, extroverted visionary who naturally commands a room and thrives on holding court. Author and leadership researcher Simon Sinek regularly speaks to massive, sold-out arenas, yet he identifies as a big introvert. He admits he is often socially uncomfortable, volunteering to run the barbecue grill at a party to avoid the pressure of talking to large groups. Sinek defines introversion as an energy economy. An introvert wakes up with 5 coins, and every social interaction costs them a coin until they are depleted. An extrovert starts with 0 coins, gaining 1 from every interaction. Introverts leverage this deficit as leaders. Finding crowds exhausting, they focus remaining energy on deep, one-on-one interactions, building trust with individuals rather than managing a room. Since loud charisma is not a prerequisite for guiding a team, clinicians can step into administration without overriding their natural personalities. They simply need to understand the mechanism that powers great leadership. When the Harvard Business Review analyzed 30 years of corporate data to see how companies moved from good to great, they identified a pinnacle of executive ability called Level 5 leadership. Level 5 leaders share a counterintuitive duality. They possess an intense, unyielding resolve to achieve their goals, paired with extreme personal humility. When a clinical unit misses its targets or a critical error occurs, these leaders use a mirror mechanism. They look in the mirror and bear the blame for the underperformance themselves, never pointing to external factors or bad luck. When the team succeeds, the mirror turns into a window. The leader looks out to assign credit entirely to their team and external factors, rarely mentioning their own role in the achievement. Abraham Lincoln embodied this duality. He was a reserved, even shy leader who held a fractured country together during the Civil War. Despite monumental losses, his resolute determination to unify the nation was paired with a modest, quiet demeanor. For a healthcare professional, consistently taking the blame for failure while giving away the credit for success is an exhausting psychological burden. Maintaining this duality over a career requires a constant supply of courage. Courage serves as the foundational requirement for Level 5 behaviors. It takes courage to speak truth to power, to be honest about personal failings, and to maintain ethical integrity when there is overwhelming pressure to choose an easier, more expedient path. This raises a critical question for the clinician. Where does this bravery come from, especially when the hospital environment is already draining their daily energy? We often view courage as a form of internal fortitude, a deep well of bravery that a leader must dig down and find within themselves when things go wrong. Simon Sinek identifies courage as an external resource rather than an internal one. It is a social quality that exists between people. A world-famous trapeze artist has the courage to try a death-defying act because of the net rigged beneath them. They wouldn't attempt the jump without it. It's the net that provides the courage. For human beings, courage is a structural safety net created by the quality of our relationships. We find the bravery to lead and do the right thing when we know someone has our back. In a hospital, a clinician's safety net consists of their interdisciplinary colleagues. For a physician or nurse stepping into leadership, their bravery is tied to the strength of these professional bonds. Building this net requires a commitment to communication. Leaders must listen in a way that allows staff to feel heard, and speak in a way that people can hear without becoming triggered or defensive. High-level communication builds the specific peer relationships that act as a buffer against the ethical dilemmas and operational pressures of modern healthcare. Clinical leadership is a shared, team-based infrastructure rather than an isolated, solitary burden resting on one person's shoulders. The Culture Coalition's core mission is to help hospitals invest in this relationship infrastructure. Transforming an organization requires focusing on the bonds between colleagues as much as their clinical skills. This transformation happens when a professional has at least one person in their life who says, "I believe in you. You've got this." Courage is built on the commitment that if a leadership decision goes south, the team will be there with that leader, standing by their side. Healthcare leadership involves the quiet, constant weaving of this external net, ensuring that no one has to find the courage to lead alone.